Looks like we are good and raring to go. Let me turn up my microphone audio just a hair. There we go. Turn up my desktop audio as a bit a hair. There we go. Hey everyone, Agnamune here. I have upgraded my recording setup just ever so slightly. That's much better, isn't it? I have upped my recording settings just ever so slightly. I'm using OBS Studio now. And I did a lot of fiddling around to see if I couldn't fix some of that issue, so hopefully this episode going up will have a lot of those issues resolved. Today, though, we are going to be going to the Pacific League with a lot of these shorter tracks, I suppose I want to call them. Grand Valley, yeah, a lot of these shorter tracks. And we're going to unlock 3 racing class cars today because, spoiler alert, that's our prize. That's what you get as prizes in here. You have that. So yeah, everything should be good. Hope to have some fun with this. Let me tell you some of the let me tell you about some of the issue I have been feeling as of late with getting this shit working. Pardon my French. And even then it's likely not going to be perfect. But with OBS Studio, I was able to pinpoint a lot of what problems were being caused, as well as what has been happening. And right now I'm recording in 1024 bitrate, and I have no idea if I will suffer any... It's been called rendering lag, as according to the program here. Because apparently what happens is it's trying to do a lot of stuff at the same time of recording. And the rendering lag comes from trying to compile all of the data of the capture at the same time as recording. So because of that, it's affecting the preview. Which is why whenever it renders out, it ends up becoming an absolute mess. I hope that makes sense. So even though it says that my frame rate is still a solid 30 frames a second, I now have a stats window open up during these recording sessions where I will be able to see if I drop any frames because of this rendering lag, as well as encoding lag on the side. So that's very useful information for me to know to hopefully improve the quality of these videos. So for the first 7 parts, I do apologize for any of the it's happening. Like right now it's happening, but it's not showing up, so maybe it might literally just be the bit rate I'm trying to capture at. And I want to say that is literally the problem. It is the bit rate I'm trying to capture at. But if I don't capture at 1024, it's not going to come out a lot crisper and neater. It might also be because I'm trying to capture as an MP4 instead of an FLV. What sucks is that a video I was recording before then, I was doing absolutely fine, so I have no idea what the problem is as of right now. It's like right now, nothing. You saw a bit of the video stuttering here and there. And I also tried out, once again, the PSX 1.13 emulator, along with my old setup, which was Hypercam. I played, I think, Spider-Man to try and test it out, and oh, it was making me want to rip my ears out, because... See, that's what it is. See, I lost a frame there, and it jittered a bit. I bona fide lost a frame. Makes me wish I could do the old setup with these videos, but... because it's so dependent on the stereo mix and making sure that my actual game audio is down, it gets really difficult to be doing some of this stuff. But beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know that I fixed a lot of the issues here, which is good. And there's one new car. We're going to go ahead and continue on. Now, as you'll notice, these races are 3 laps long instead of 2, and that's just because these are, you can kind of think of this as the next difficulty level, so to speak, which is pretty good. Seattle Circuit Full, you guys know what this track is. It's a pretty cool track. This is the track that has been giving me a lot of shit when it comes to recording. So, if I were to drop this quality down to 512, it would be very blurry to the point where you would actually see, like, actual motion blur happen within the pixels. That is something I am trying to avoid. This car's here trying to challenge me. We're gonna have to beat him, aren't we, boys? During my off sessions as well, I listened to quite a bit of the Need for Speed Carbon soundtrack. More accurately, I'm pretty sure they are copyrighted in some way, but I have yet to see copyright actually happen on some of the tracks from EA. More accurately, the actual in-game racing tracks, because that seems to be customized music and not actual, like, licensed music, which seems pretty cool. So it's like I kind of want to contact the creators of the game and ask, hey, are these soundtracks on the side of public domain, and can we use them in our non-profit stuff? Because if we can use those tracks in non-profit stuff, I can have that sort of soundtrack play in the background of these videos and be like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's gonna add a lot more flavor to this, but that's why I've been hesitant. I downloaded this stuff kind of iffy on the usage. See, like right now I'm not really losing any frames, which is great. I want to say the frame loss that happens, or the jitteriness of the frame rate for the 1024 vids, they literally vary from video to video, track to track. That is my guess. If you're wondering, oh, but this car only has like 374 horsepower, how the hell is it able to keep up with like the 500 and some horsepower? That's just strictly because it's a racing class machine, and it's got great preset tunings on it. All I do is add tires to the all I do is add super soft tires, and I'm not going anywhere. That's pretty much what it is. So it turns out, my guild master, yes, he's still sending me that computer I want to kind of get my greasy little hands on, but at the same time, he kind of ran into a small issue where the stand that it sits upon broke. It's one of those all-in-one kind of rigs where think of it like a standard computer monitor, but your entire motherboard, etc., is built into the back of it. So the stand that it all sits on broke, and that's where an issue is lying right now. I guarantee you, if I were to use the D3D visual plugin right now, I'd be getting a shitload more of this frame issue. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, these are old. Like, because it's not even that these are legacy parts or anything, but this is like. That's what pisses me off half the time. That's what I want to attribute this all to, because I swear to God, if I tried doing this on a more recent machine like my Dell that I got back in 2012, that had a more powerful graphics card and shit like that, it would probably be flawless. Hell, Forbidden Memories I recorded at around the same settings as I'm trying to record now, and as we saw, it turned out beautifully. But enough of my bitching, because it seems like we're good for the time being. That's race number 2. Done and over with. Hey man, I'm sitting in like an 80-degree room. Well, it's not really 80 degrees. It's actually a lot colder out than it has been for the past week or so. But considering I'm a big man, I get pretty sweaty pretty quick in here. And the fact that my door is shut, my window open, it's like I'm getting loads and loads of hot air. So, speaking of air, do you guys remember like this old Mad Cat style controller that kind of had like a cooling pad of some sort, like built in underneath where the grips were? I remember way back in the day, me and my brother borrowed a controller from our friend Bill, and it's kind of what ended up happening. It's kind of the controller he used a lot, and it's like the fan was so friggin' comfortable for us, kept us nice and cold. I kept it off half the time just because it's like I'm trying to friggin' win, and having air blown on my hands kind of defeats the purpose, because it's like your senses are trained to kind of pay attention to that. So this is Laguna Seca, last race of the, I believe this is the Pacific Cup, with more of the American and Japanese cars. I hope the fan's not getting blown into the mic here. Took about a good 5-minute walk or so before I even started the actual recording session, which is good, so I cleared my head. Let me tell you, it is the most annoying feeling in the world when you go grocery shopping for 3 hours and you forget one thing on the list. That happened to me and my mom yesterday. We finally found the spaghetti sauce. We finally found the spaghetti sauce she was looking for, some kind of purple label of some sort. It wasn't necessarily on sale, but it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't too expensive, so she ended up picking up like 6 cans of the stuff. And yes, contrary to popular belief, I actually like grocery shopping with Mom. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where you have an acquired taste for it. Either you like grocery shopping because you can pick all your favorite stuff, or you don't. Us around here, my mom and I kind of had like this system in place where we sort of both have something that we want, and for the most part, I adhere to her because, well, she's the boss. I live under her house, so I have to. But I kind of put in a request every now and then because there's some stuff that I kind of enjoy eating, as well as maybe something I want. I mean, I saw this great spatula the other day, and it's like for $2.50, this spatula kind of looked like the same flat-headed one that we used to use a lot, but this one has a metal handle attached to it, so we can leave it sit on certain spots, and it won't frickin' melt. Now that's good. Oh god. Oh god, oh god. No, no, no. Corkscrew, don't do this to me now. Those cars are actually keeping up with me pretty well. But thankfully I have the acceleration to haul ass when the situation demands it. Wow, I was talking as if it was the final lap. Jesus Christ, I'm bad at this. I actually had a comment on one of my videos one day. I can't remember who it was. But they said, "Don't you dare take Jesus' name in vain." It's like, I get that religion is a very touchy and sensitive subject. And my condolences to you for believing strongly in your religious views and faith. If you believe that God is a man that died for our sins, then you may believe that. I will not stop you from believing in that, nor would I want to dissuade you. But do you really think a man, and I know I'm getting in a pretty touchy subject here, but do you really believe that a man that got nailed to 2 planks of wood, I think that's the best way to describe a cross, it's 2 planks of wood aligned perpendicular to one another, nails going through his skin, do you really believe a guy like that died, and it's like all of a sudden every last one of us that lives now and forever is forgiven? Do I believe that? No. Not in the slightest. Hell, I'm one of those guys that doesn't necessarily believe that half the stuff that happened in history actually happened. I don't want to sound like one of those hippie conspiracy theorists and whatnot, but I honestly don't know what happened back then. I'd like to know, yeah, but unless I'm there seeing it before my own eyes, I can only take other people's word for it, whether they're historians that were proven 5,000 years ago or something. I can't believe I said the number 5,000. But that's a final race. Apologies for the very touchy and kind of, distasteful subject as part of a racing game, but I honestly don't know what the hell to talk about during these boring-ass races. I love the game, but when you have to commentate over something, Jesus Christ. So, here's what we have for the first half. A Nissan 300SX, this is a nice-looking car. The RX-7 Le Mans edition, this thing slides so damn much, I hate it. And a Drag 180SX. This is one of the two drag racing cars that I was talking about in a prior video, about how drag cars were left in the game, even though the drag racing mode was taken out. Let me go ahead and take a look at my time here. 16:23. That is a good time to stop at for this part, so that next time we meet, we will be able to continue on our little charade, or crusade, or whatever you want to call it, to sort of get everything up and going. So, until then, faithful viewers, this is Ragnamunis signing out. You guys have a great night. Thank you for walking. Thank you for walking. Thank you for watching. Let me know that my grammar is still trash. I'm out of here, boys. Have a good one. I hope this video is in great quality. Well, better quality than what has been shown before. If not, I'll have to do more stress testing and all that stuff. See you later. Take it easy.